guys, today is not just any day, it's Orchid Society Day, and I'm gonna go there and sell 21 of my orchids. 1 week ago I got a viewer's request on making a video about the benefits on joining an Orchid Society and what to expect and so on and so forth. I just finished this video, so I thought I'd just include a little bit of information on it before we proceed. As I've always been a society person and already a board member at the Golden Retriever Club and Gothenburg Sick Lead Group, and as my interest in unusual orchids grows stronger every day, I decided to Google to see what I could find, and I found the West Swedish Orchid Society. The annual fee for a membership was only €9, but if you also decided to join the Swedish Orchid Society, you could add €25 extra, and you would also receive their monthly Orchid magazine. Well, I just became a member straight away. I didn't know that they had a first trial opportunity, free one, which also included a lighter meal, sandwiches, coffee, and some sweets. The first meeting I joined was their annual meeting, which naturally occurs once a year. And I was elected secretary on my very first meeting ever. And I stayed on that position for the following 8 years. Now I'm chairman. Yeah. So now it's up to me and the rest of the board members to decide which content each monthly meeting will contain. Sometimes we invite people from far away to hold a speech. Some orchid nerd who specialized in certain types of orchids perhaps, or perhaps he or she wants to keep a travelogue from a journey far away, maybe from South America or Thailand or other orchid crowded places in the wild. As in this case, a dear old member of the Orchid Society couldn't get to Sweden in time for the speech, so we decided to keep the speech through Zoom, a digital platform, as if for the time being was staying in Bali. For each meeting, a couple of people at the board are preparing sandwiches and stuff further before the others come dropping in. We also have a owner of a small nursery who oftentimes brings a couple of pre-ordered plants for delivery and a couple of plants out for sale. For each meeting, we also throw a little lottery, so each member can buy a ticket or a couple of tickets, as many as they like, for only 50 cents each. And then you can win a plant or other orchid-related stuff as accessories and pots, so yeah, things like that. And we also had book auctions, orchid books, old ones, new ones, expensive ones, cheap ones, doesn't matter, starting out at €2. And once a year in June, we go on a mutual trip to an orchid excursion to look at wildlife orchids here in Sweden. Either we split the gas bill between the travelers, or it's sponsored by the Orchid Society. And at times, perhaps once a year, we also visit orchid nurseries not far from Sweden. This one is at the Orchid Gartneriet in Denmark. And in September each year, we go on a mutual trip to the orchid show in the southern part of Sweden. And once or twice a year, we also throw the famous orchid auctions. Yeah? So the members can make space for some new orchids to buy in the future. So the members bring whatever they please and put it on the tables with no need to pre-register anything. And somebody auctionate them out, starting out at €2 or €3. each, no matter what size plant it is. And the profit goes a little teeny weeny bit to the society at times, or all of the profit goes to the seller. But eventually the money always goes back to the members. So that would be it, I think. If you have any further questions, put them down in the comment section. And now for today's video, you guys will come along with me to the orchid auction. And afterwards, I'm going to show you guys what I brought home with me. So stay tuned. So, well, at the Orchid Society meeting, look at the table. People are dropping in with the boxes, and now the two tables are crowded. So we had to put a couple of boxes with plants underneath the table as well. But you can see loads of stuff. Some looking great, others not so much. But some in bud. And epiphyllums as well. Some in spike. And hibiscus. Cattleya purpurata, carnea, a variety of it in bloom, and Dendrobium nobile in bloom, November cactuses, as we call them. So there's a bit of diversity. Cynium type in bloom. Here you can see my Cymbidium. Here's the lottery table. Yeah, we're going to throw a lottery as well after the auction's finished. A couple of books. People already read them, got tired of them, put them there. Yeah, it's free to just put anything you please onto that table. Yeah, here's the plants people want to show. Yeah. So they brought a couple of blooming, beautiful orchids with them. That's Bowringiana, yeah, Guarianti. And here's another one. Neophoenicia, Paracari, Vanda Phoenicia, or Vanda, perhaps. This is a very, very dense plant. Look at this one. I still want it. Phragmipedium, Periflora cerula aca. Yeah, beautiful Paphiopedilums. Unfortunately, only for show and not for sale, but still lovely to look at. Look! Paphiopedilum redshift times impulse. And the Locartia asturdii. And stuff for sale as well in little boxes. So guys, back home again. Well, I've actually been home for about 4 hours, but I was very tired after having been the, this is a new word for me, auctioneera. I don't know if it's pronounced that way, but auctionating, perhaps, out all of the plants on the table you saw in front of you there while I was filming at the Orchid Society meeting today. Yeah, you saw that there were several plants, both on the table and underneath the table as well. So there were quite a few additions afterwards. My voice didn't fail me for over 2 hours. Yeah, I needed to be real quick to auctionate out so many objects. But it worked, and it was really funny. So we had a great time, and a couple of members wanted us to throw auctions more frequently. So I guess there will be a spring auction as well. So if you're thinking about becoming a member of our West Swedish Orchid Society, do not hesitate. It only costs 200 Swedish crowns for 1 year. and you will get a lot of goodies in return. Yeah. So, anyways, you can see, you can tell that I did not only sell 21 orchids, I did get a couple as well, but absolutely not as many as I usually get. It's quite strange to bet on stuff you're trying to auction it out yourself. But I did get a couple of plants. Nobody else seems to have wanted. I don't know why. I think people grow a bit tired. Yeah, they've grown a bit tired of phals, while I'm growing more and more fond of them. That suits me very well, indeed. Yep, it's relatively wet to the bottom of this paper bag, so there's a real wet plant here. You're gonna be very surprised when I show you the wet plant. But that one for last. Here. Yeah, lovely accessories. Look at this gorgeous pot. Only this pot costs a couple of euro. Loads of perlite. Yeah, spag and stuff. Roots sticking out everywhere, looking really healthy, except for a bit of spider mites. So I guess I need to spray this one. Yeah, but it seems like it's, yeah, this is the only leaf affected. Yeah, but I've seen worse than a bit of spider mites. I'll simply just spray it with leaf shine. But it is a larger version of the Phalaenopsis pulsation. This one is not very common out there anymore nowadays in the garden centers. It was a couple of years ago, but not anymore. Phalaenopsis pulsation with a spike. I almost forget about the spike, but I guess you can see for yourself. Probably. It's not that it's invisible by any means. So there's a good spike coming. But, well, not the prettiest leaf, but as I said, a little bit of leaf shine onto it, and it will kill off everything. But why I got a plant I already had is the fact that I like it so much. It's quite rare nowadays. And mine is very tiny. Yeah, it's grown. Yeah, it's growing a little bit now. It's the one from a neighbor, my next door neighbor, one floor down. Her daughter brought me this one, so it's very nice. Look, it's branching. So this one also likes to bloom right now. It was really tiny when she gave it to me, and I wasn't really sure that it would survive, but it has survived, growing larger. So now, very soon, I'm gonna have 2 large pulsations, as you can see, but it's not in the way. I love the pulsations flowers. Yeah. So that one, I don't think I gave more than a couple of euro for it. Yeah. So it's very cheap, as we had far too many plants this time around, so nobody really got what they deserved for the plants, I must say. So we better throw auctions more frequently, and there won't be so many plants, and they will be worth a bit more in money. Anyways, here's something else I bought. Here's a very light green Phalaenopsis with spikes. This spike with the kiki is, I think it's fading. But the plant itself's got a couple of yellowing leaves, but maybe it received a little bit too much light. It is a Phalaenopsis Leodoro Sweet Memory, and dofta means it's scented. Yeah, everybody knows that the Leodoro is scented. So, with some holes, old-fashioned Miss Orchid go away, you know.
Everybody's been watching her videos, probably. At some point. Good roots. Several new spikes coming. There. And in between there. And this spike is, I'm not really sure about it. Well, it's been blooming, yeah. You can tell. It might branch. This one has been blooming, might branch. It's funny with a Kiki. But, yeah, she told me that, let's see now. This one's been growing from the side of the mother plant, which should be this one. Well, maybe it had some stem rot at a certain point in her life and created two new plants. But this is so like the Leodoro, yeah. Yellow leaves with spots. Remove this. I would like to remove this leaf. Now it's gone. Yeah, almost. I want to have that one. No way I'm going to keep that one. Yeah, and I do not think I would like to keep this one either. So, yeah, way better. I think I only paid a couple of euro for this one as well, so if she makes it, she makes it. It's just a fun plant. It's nice with a plant with a little bit of history on its neck. Alright, Leodora again. I think it's my third attempt on that plant. And here, I fell for her the moment I saw her. She is unscented though, but quite white flowers. Look at her. Very beautiful flowers. Fairly large for sitting on a plant this size. Yeah, it's not a tiny size one, but in comparison, Look, I simply adore this pattern. I think she's gorgeous. It's a Svarte purchase. A friend of mine did some time ago, yeah. Phalaenopsis GW, Green World Snakeskin. I hate yellow leaves, so, and I am not gonna let it drop by itself. I just hate it. I just hate the sight of it. So, now it's gone. Yeah. Alright. Now it's better. Yeah, I think I need to stake this spike. Well, look, she's continuing to extend it as well. Yeah. And now the plant looks healthy. And it's been blooming before. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm going to stake the plant up a bit so it doesn't lean as much to the right. Yeah. I think it will look prettier. Now. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah, I think she's a bit more stable. I won't fall over to the side that easily. Oh yeah, great. Great. Happy for it, really happy for it. So, and plant number 4. Number 4. It's a tiny little plant. What on earth is it? Yeah, it is a Disa unilangley sitting in peat or stuff like that, perlite, dripping wet, likes to be in a cooler condition. It told me put it outdoors, or just put it outdoors, she can take it, even now. Should be, as I said, dripping wet, not overfed, I think. But, well, I don't know really. I need to read up on her a bit. At one point, the seller of this orchid brought it with him to the Orchid Society meeting. And I happened to spot its beautiful flower. They were absolutely stunning. So adorable. So I just wanted to have one. But the thing is, the care. I think these guys are just as tricky to grow and bloom as the Draculas indoors. So, we shall see. But at least I can give it a try. I'm willing to do so. I can read up on it and see if it's better for me to put her inside the cabinet or in the window, where it's going to be a bit cooler very soon. In the kitchen window, that is. Can get down to about 14 degrees or such. Maybe even lower. But we shall see. It will need to sit on a tray with water at all times, that's for sure. Let's start there and see what happens. So, 15 days later, where is the Disa? She's down here. In the coolest area she could ever possibly be put into. Unfortunately, we haven't had any degrees below. Unfortunately, no, that's not unfortunate, but you see my point. So it's still over 20 degrees here in my coolest window. Yeah, which can go down to, as I said, 14 or even lower, where the outdoor temperatures are at a normal rate. This is very, very hot for being November. It really is. So, why am I saying all this? Why? For what purpose? Yeah, I think you all know where I'm going. I gave this Disa a glass with water. She's still dripping wet, as wet as she can be. I watered her with my regular tap water one single time. She's still dripping wet, and she's still almost utterly dead. But well, she is more difficult than the Draculas, which are really doing great for me. But what I did do this morning, yesterday morning, went ahead and bought myself 20 liters of demineralized water. I should have tried that stuff out the first time I watered her, but as the idea hadn't formed in my head yet at the time, it wasn't possible to do so. I might as well just flush her with distilled water straight ahead and see what happens, but 1% chance that she survives. So a Disa on a windowsill above 20 degrees Celsius with tap water, it's not a good idea. At least it wasn't for me. But we shall see what happens with this guy. Alright, hope you like this little auction haul from the Orchid Society with these 4 subtracted and the 5 plants from Svarta I just got. It will mean that I now have 12 plants less than yesterday, so to speak, as I unboxed the Svarta plants yesterday. So, at least a little bit less, a little bit more space, and I got rid of a couple of very large plants in my collection. Yeah? Anyways, talk soon. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe and do become a member of our Swedish Orchid Society. Make some new friends and stuff like that. Get some cheap, beautiful plants and acquire some new knowledge about orchids. Bye-bye.